Goat versus fish. In the beginning, there was goat versus fish, the goat fish. And goat versus fish said that there should be goat and that there should be fish. There is no alpha or omega. There is no black or white. There is no good or evil. There is only goat and fish. And goat versus fish. Welcome to the Goat vs. Fish podcast, recorded at the world-famous Comedy Store, Los Angeles, a place of goat versus fish. You have many questions, yes? Who is goat versus fish? What is goat versus fish? Why is goat versus fish? But there is only one question. Are you goat or are you fish? A goat is a goat and a fish is a fish? A goat is not a fish and a fish is not a goat. Who shall triumph, the goat or the fish? Let us find out on this Versus of Goat versus Fish. But first, a word from our verses. Are you tired of sitting on the fence? Are you frustrated with not being the one you know you are? Do you start each of your verses with that fancy unpleasantness that consumes you horribly, oh so horribly? Well, try goat versus fish. Choose goat or fish. Every single goat and fish is a part of goat versus fish, and goat versus fish is a part of you. And now, for those who choose goat or fish, you can even follow Goat vs. Fish. You can even follow Goat vs. Fish at GoatVsFish on the Instagram and the Twitterver and the Book of Faces and even on the Twitch. Choose goat or fish. Follow Goat vs. Fish. Sit on the fence no longer and watch all your verses come true. This is Goat vs. Fish. For all goat and fish. This versus is from Goat vs. Fish. All fish are fish and all goat are goat, and this is Goat vs. Fish, the goat fish. And it was written, and it was written. Killing Tony. Killing Tony. Also known as the Verses of Kill Tony. The very Verses of Kill Tony. It has been some verses since Goat vs. Fish did speak at the 253rd Verses of Killing Tony, recorded live here as well at the Comedy Store, Los Angeles. Killing Tony is truly the verses that keeps on versing. Even now, when Goat vs. Fish goes to speak at the comedy places, or perhaps when simply out spreading the word of Goat vs. Fish on the beaches of Venice or at the cons of comic, some recognize Goat vs. Fish. You were on the killing of Tony, they do say, yes. Most say pleasant things to Goat vs. Fish. Others say unpleasant things to Goat vs. Fish. You can hear some of the things the ones have said to Goat vs. Fish about the killing of Tony on the 19th Verses of the Goat vs. Fish podcast. Yes, there are words. There are words for one Tony Hinchcliffe there as well. But even as Goat vs. Fish has spoken at the Verses of Killing Tony but once, there is one. There is one that has spoken on the Verses of Killing Tony many times, and continues to verses with them. That one is here now. This Verses, Goat vs. Fish, speaks to a one.
Hello.
And what do the ones call this one? What do the ones call this one?
Malcolm Hatchett.
Pleasant to do this Verses with you, one Malcolm Hatchett, yes?
Yes. In the beginning, there was a goat, and I fell in love with it.
You have fallen in love with the goat.
Yes. I love the goat because fish are nasty, but goat looks like a cow, and I love Chick-fil-A.
And a fillet is the fish to the goat?
Yes.
It seems that you are more fond of the goat than the fish. Is this so? Is this so?
Yes, it is so.
But are you goat or are you fish? Ones are waiting, one, Malcolm Hatchett, yes?
I was fish for 3 days, but then I decided to be goat.
Fish for 3 verses and then became a goat. Fish for 3 verses and then became a goat. We celebrate this goat. We celebrate this goat. I goat for this goat. Yes. But first, goat, tell us of these 3 verses you had as fish, yes? What were these verses of fish?
The first day I was a fish, somebody put something metal in me and had to break loose. The second day I was a fish, somebody put something metal in me and reeled me up and put me in a bucket. And the third day, I escaped the bucket and got back to the water, and a goat took me away.
They took you from the sea.
Yes.
Yes, but not in the unpleasant way that you had been taken before, no?
Made me into a man.
Ah, it is a manly goat. It is a manly goat. Ah, and when you were a fish, what were you when you were a fish?
I was a Nemo, trying to find myself.
Ah, you were trying to find yourself, and when you were trying to find yourself, it seems that another one found you and did put a metal into you? You call it a metal, yes?
Looked like a hoop earring.
It sounds like it could be the unpleasantness of the fence. Yes, GoatVsFish has seen a fence that some are made of what the ones call wood. Of course, It is a fence. Some are made of what one call metal. Yes, and it is a fence.
Yep.
The very fence. Yes, the very fence was unpleasant to you. Yes, you have warnings for other fish. Do other fish get taken by the fence in this way as well? Is that a way of fish?
I lose fish homies every day when I was out there in that water.
Oh, you have lost many fish.
7 of them.
Oh, you 7 fish.
And I was just swimming for my life.
Tell us of these fishy homies, yes? The ones you have lost, yes? Let us remember these fishy homies, yes?
Yeah, well, me, DJ, Chris, Sean, we was hanging out over there on Seaweed Avenue, and we was just chilling. And then next you know, we seen some metal just drive by, and they scooped them up, and I got away. But they kept trying to scoop me up. I got a couple of scoop wounds, but the goat saved my life. And I heard about the other 4 when I came to land.
Now, when this goat found you, it is curious to GoatVsFish that you were a fish and it was a goat, that this goat did not wish to versus you. Yes, it is GoatVsFish.
Well, it grabbed me out of the water because I was close to the edge, and it said, "Come here, little brother." And it threw me in the air and just swallowed me without chewing me. So I'm still inside of him, but I'm a goat on the outside.
Ah, you are within the goat.
Within him.
Even now you are within a goat.
He pregnant with me forever.
Ah, some would say that this is a clever versus a fish, that you are still a fish that is controlling the goat.
Mm-hmm.
Would you say that you are truly this goat or that you are a fish? What is it, goat or fish? Are you goat or are you fish?
Well, if you put it that way, I'm a fishy goat, but I'm a fish because I'm controlling the goat now.
It is a fish that is controlling the goat. Do you hear it, goat? Do you hear it, goat? This one, it said it was a goat, but it is a fish. A fish that controls the goat. Many goat would be upset to hear this. Many goat have said that no fish could ever control a goat, but you have done it. You have done it. Tell the other fish how it is that they can triumph in the way that you have, yes? Or is it a secret that only this fish can know?
Only this fish can know. But sometimes you gotta take those fences in your ribs in order to survive.
This fish, it is a fish. Oh, you are a fish. Yes, we celebrate this fish. We celebrate this fish. High fish for this fish. This is not the only triumph. This is not the only triumph for this fish. Yes, you have been triumphing much lately. Yes, in the, what is the verses that you do? They call it, it is a comedic verses, they call it?
Mm-hmm, comedy verses.
Ah, yes, GoatVsFish speaks to
Stand
many
up.
of them. Ah, stand up. Yes, it is a standing up fish. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
You have been triumphing in this verses recently as well, have you not, fish?
Yes.
Yes, tell us of some of your triumphs, yes, for all the ones who have not heard the triumphs of this fish.
Kill Tony. Comedy Store. Laugh Factory. Just standing up and blowing bubbles out of my mouth. with sheepskin.
The skin of a sheep.
Yes.
But is a sheep a goat?
Skin of a goat.
Of a goat. Yes, it is a goat, yes. Well, what can you expect from this fish, yes? Have you ever been tempted to put the goat on the fence so that all the goat could see that their goat has become a fence sitter?
Yes, but I'm afraid that somebody might put the goat fur on the fence, and then they might put the fur in the water, and the fish is gonna nibble it away, and there won't be no more clothes.
It would reveal the fish. It would reveal the fish.
And then I get caught.
But is there not a part of this fish that simply wishes to show all the ones that you are a fish and that you are the fish that you truly are, yes?
I want to show them, but then if I show them, they might laugh at me. So I cover up because I'm afraid that if I show the real me, they might not like me anymore.
And when you are speaking, yes, on the killing of Tony, yes?
Mm-hmm.
Are you showing your fish, or are you showing the goat that you are controlling as fish?
I'm showing the goat that I'm controlling as fish.
Is that so? Is that so?
Yes.
But the ones do laugh at you. The ones do laugh at you, yes? What is the difference between how the ones that are laughing at the goatly presentation that you make and the fear that you have, the fear of the laughter that you have if you were to reveal your inner fish?
Because the goat is bigger, so they intimidating. But if I show the fish, they're going to be like, oh, he's just another Nemo trying to find himself. And then I would just swim away.
But what is the unpleasantness of that versus, yes? Many fish are trying to find their fish, and many goat are trying to find their goat. At least you know you are a fish. You do not sit on the fence.
Mm-mm.
No, there are fence sitters who do not even know if they are a goat or a fish, yes? But what is so unpleasant to you about trying to find your fish? Are all not goat and fish trying to find their very goat and fish each and every verses?
Yes, but I'm afraid if I show them the fish, I won't be able to stand up because I keep flopping. And I'm going to flop on somebody's lap and accidentally smack them. And then they will crush me and make a filet of fish sandwich and put some tuna and hot sauce on it. And they'll just chew me away.
We do not wish this. We do not wish this for this fish. Goat versus fish does not think so, yes? You could be controlling the goat one versus, and you could be being a strong fish the next versus, yes?
Yes.
Speak from your fish now. Goat versus fish wonders. If you are prepared, I am goat versus fish. The other ones, they may laugh at the fish. They may laugh at your very fish. But goat versus fish is not here to laugh at this fish. Goat versus fish will hear what this fish has to say. You can trust goat versus fish. What do you say, fish? What do you say, fish, to goat versus fish?
I say to goat versus fish that if my friends never got hit by those fences, then I probably would. So I don't want to show my fishiness anymore.
Is that so? They are coming for the fish.
Yes.
They are coming for the fish. Fence sitters, why do you come for the fish in this way? Fence sitters, neither goat nor fish. This is unpleasant to goat versus fish. Now, the verses of killing Tony, yes?
Yes.
Are you killing Tony, or is Tony killing you?
He's killing me.
Is that so?
Yes.
Tell us. Tell all the ones, yes.
Killing me slowly.
Continue.
Every Monday I get up there as a goat with a fish just flopping in me, wanting to be seen. But in the back of the room, they say don't show the fish because no one will like you anymore. You are a goat. Greatest of all times, but deep inside, I'm a fish just trying to get away. But they don't want me to reveal myself because they would think little of me. So I'm a dying goat, and the fish will eventually flop and stop flopping.
But without the fish that is within you, yes, if it is a dying fish, if it is the end of the very fish, then there will not even be a goat to continue, or perhaps the goat will continue being a goat, and the fish that was in you will be no more. You will not even remember the fish that you are, yes?
Yes.
We do not wish this. It cannot continue that way for all verses. You must find a way to be the fish that you are, yes, and you can control that goat.
I think the goat is controlling me, because I was controlling him, but I got real tired. And he took over, and I'm dying slowly. He took my shine. He said he never revealed me ever again, and I got dimmer and dimmer and dimmer.
The shininess of a fish, the shininess of a fish It shimmers and shines as it verses the goat, the shininess of a fish. How do you feel, fish? How do you feel, fish, now that you have told Goat versus Fish that you are a fish? You have maybe not told so many others that you are a fish. Have you told the ones of Killing Tony that you are a fish?
I'm afraid. They may not accept me.
But what if they do? What if they do, fish? What if they do accept you as fish?
Well, then they would just see me without the shine.
Ah, because the shine is now consumed by the goat. But you can gain your shine again, fish. You can gain it again.
Yes, I could, but it'd be tough because my fish homies aren't there to cheer me on.
Ah, but Goat versus Fish knows many fish, yes? Goat versus Fish knows many fish that would accept this one being a fish. Imagine, yes, you are powerful. You are powerful as a goat, as controlling the goat. Imagine if you could be as powerful as that goat, but also have the power of the fish. Would it not make this one twice as strong? Twice as strong in the verses, yes?
Yes, it will, but I'm like Drake. No new fish, no new fish, no, 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 no.
Ah, this one, it is troubling with the verses within. It is troubling with the verses within. It seems to know it is a fish, but it is a verses within because it is within a goat. But is it goat or is it fish? Are you goat or fish? Are you goat or fish?
Fish.
Fish. It is fish. It is fish. It is fish. Is there any goat that you would like to versus? Yes, looking out there at all the ones who do speak and say the funny things, yes, or perhaps they are saying something that is not even so funny, yes, but as you are triumphing in many verses in this way that is ending the fish, oh, Goat versus Fish does not wish to ponder the end of this fish. What is a goat that you would like to versus as a fish?
I would like to versus Ronald McDonald.
Ah, tell us of Ronald McDonald the goat and why you wish to versus this goat.
Ronald McDonald is a real pretty goat, wears a disguise, and I know behind that disguise, he's a fish trying to show his shine, but instead, he covers up. He's a clown goat, and I want it.
So you wish to protect this fellow fish. You wish to help that fish to be the fish that it is.
Yes, because he can't do it himself.
And it is a clown goat? You call it a clown goat, yes?
Clown goat. He's very colorful, and he walks around the kids' parties, and they just ride on him, just happy as can be. But deep inside, that fish is dying.
But do you not gain any pleasantness yourself from seeing how the ones celebrate you? They do celebrate you. Yes, the ones are cheering. They are laughing when they see that goat that you do control, or if it is the goat that is controlling the fish, yes? Is this not a pleasantness that you seek, or is it some other pleasantness that you are seeking?
It's the other pleasantness. It's just the noise. But I wish the fish can be right there and enjoy it too, but instead he has to hide.
There are fish that will see you, fish. Goat versus Fish can say this to you, yes? Not all goat will accept a fish. All goat are versus the fish. Not all fish will celebrate this fish. But perhaps there will be some that says, oh, I liked that fish when it was a goat. And others will say, oh, I like that fish now that it is a fish. But if you cannot continue in this verses, then there will be no one to celebrate you. There will be no one to celebrate you if you cannot continue.
I want to celebrate as a fish, but I'm afraid that they're going to do me how they did DJ. They scooped him out, and they turned him into a fish sandwich with hot sauce. They just ate him. And I don't want them to eat me.
It is a risk, you know, in the great verses of Goat versus Fish. Sometimes a goat or a fish does get consumed. It does happen. You cannot avoid it, even if you are a goat, even if you be a goat. There are ones who will still consume you as a goat. There are some who even try to consume Goat versus Fish. Of course, we are all consuming Goat versus Fish at all verses because all things are Goat versus Fish, but they do not mean it in such a pleasant way, yes. But they would consume you as a goat. You are consuming yourself, goat.
Yes, but ain't nothing like a fish with some hot sauce on it. I don't think goat and hot sauce go together.
I did just call you a goat, and you did not even rebuke Goat versus Fish. I said you are consuming yourself, goat, and you did not even say that you were a fish.
I'm caught.
What has happened to this fish? What has happened to this fish?
I'm a bipolar fish. It's like sometimes I want to be a goat, other days I want to be a fish. I'm scared. I just want to be half and half.
Fence sitters. One called Albamani. Goat versus Fish would have a word with this one.
Yes.
GoatVsFish. GoatVsFish does ask you to bring once to speak to GoatVsFish, yes?
Yes.
What has happened? What has happened? GoatVsFish wants goat and fish, and yet you have brought GoatVsFish. It seems it is sitting on the fence, does it not? What have you to say, one Albamani, bringing fence sitters to GoatVsFish? GoatVsFish has had enough of this fence sitting.
I figured it'd be interesting.
Ah, you think it would be so interesting to have a fence sitter like you coming to the GoatVsFish podcast? Yes, of course you would. GoatVsFish cannot take all this fence sitting anymore.
Sounds like projection to me.
What is GoatVsFish projecting to you? What sort of verses is this that you accuse GoatVsFish?
Exactly what GoatVsFish is doing.
I am being GoatVsFish and you bring fence sitters.
Perhaps the fence sitter is staring you back in the GoatVsFish face.
Yes. We'll speak to this one. We'll speak. You ponder it. You ponder it, Albamani one. You ponder goat and fish, and you ponder GoatVsFish.
Sounds like you have some pondering to do.
GoatVsFish is always pondering. That one. Do you wish to be like that one Malcolm Hatchett? Do you wish to be like that one that is saying such things to GoatVsFish? Or do you wish to be a goat or a fish? You may be a goat or a fish, but it seems to GoatVsFish that you are sitting on the fence after all these verses. Is it another fence sitter?
He put me up there. I'm trying to fall back. I want to be a goat.
Oh, you wish to be a goat now?
Yes.
Are you goat or are you fish?
Goat.
It is a goat. It is a goat. Let us ask this goat. Yes, we have now asked this goat if it is goat or fish. 4 verses. 4 verses we have asked this goat. GoatVsFish is not running out of verses for this goat. Not running out of verses for this goat. It must be difficult to be the goat that you are, yes?
Yes.
Yes, it has been such a short verses, but now all the ones are looking to you. All the ones wish to hear what you have to say. Ones, even GoatVsFish, wishes to speak to you, yes?
Yes.
Is it a fast verses? Is it happening very fast for this goat?
Very fast. I take a 5-hour goat energy and I just run away. I go to the pond and get the fish and
This is a complicated verses, yes? It was a fish. It was removed from the sea. It was consumed by a goat. It became a goat. And then as a goat, it goes to consume more fish.
Yes. The fish be cock blocking.
They be blocking cocks, yes? What, is a cock a goat or a fish?
It's a fish that just keep flapping. Just keep smacking water on land.
You can be a goat or you can be a fish. GoatVsFish will ask for a 5th verses if, on this verses of the GoatVsFish podcast, we do not wish fence sitters here. We do not wish a fence sitter. Are you goat or are you fish? Are you goat or fish? Are you goat or fish?
Goat.
Goat, it is a goat. Now, goat, do you promise to be a true goat?
True goat.
A goat in all things goat?
Goat in all things.
And forever Forever versus the fish.
Versus the fish, the little Nemo.
Now, if this goat is being its true goat, then we celebrate this goat. But if you are still the fish that is making the goat to say that it is a true goat when you are a fish that is within, then GoatVsFish would find this fish very pitiable. Very pitiable in verses. If there is a fish within you, and you wish to come out and speak to GoatVsFish or speak to anyone, GoatVsFish will be here for you. Will be here for you. Do you understand, goat? Do you understand, goat?
Yes.
It is time for goat or fish. Are you ready, goat?
Yes.
Josh Martin, goat or fish?
Fish.
It is a fish. Tell us of this fish. Why is Josh Martin a fish?
Josh Martin is a fish because back in my fish days, he was swimming around and I ran into him and his glasses fell off his face and I helped him scoop him back up with my little lips. And he told me his name and I swam away. But I ain't really like him like that because he was out there with the fish homies that day when they got fenced up. And he said he was a fish forever. He told me I'd change and I said I wouldn't. And I'm so grateful I did.
And that is why you are versus this fish. Yes, you are a goat that is versus that fish, yes?
Yes, because he never got fenced. I think he set it all up.
Joel Jimenez, goat or fish?
That's a goat.
Ah, that is a goat for this goat. Yes, you are allies with this goat?
I seen him over there on Farm Avenue just the other day when I got accepted as a goat. He was real cool. He welcomed me to the land. He told me never trust a fish. Always be goatful.
Elephant, goat or fish?
Elephant, fish.
Ah, an elephant is a fish. Yes, it is a very large fish.
Large
yes.
fish.
Why do some think that it is more like a goat?
Because it got 4 legs.
That is so. A goat does have 4 legly goats. It is so. It is so, yes. Jeremiah Watkins, goat or fish?
He a fish.
Ah, that is a fish. Tell us of your verses with this fish.
Yeah, Jeremiah Watkins a fish because if you look at the side of him, he looked like Nemo, just all grown up. Plus, he can swim real good.
It does not seem that you have such verses with this fish as much as you did with the Josh Martin fish. Yes?
Nah, Josh Martin, he set us up, but Jeremiah Watkins, he cool, but I don't really hang with him like that because he can swim real good, and he the only fish underwater with a perm. He got real nice fins.
Ah, yes, it reminds you of The Shining. Yes, it reminds you of The Shining of when you were a fish.
He was a star under that water, and I was dim inside that goat.
Donald Trump, goat or fish?
Donald Trump a goat.
Oh, you say it is a goat.
Yeah, he a goat.
You accept that this one called Donald Trump is a goat according to this goat, yes? How does it feel to be a goat with this one?
Man, it feel good to be a goat with him because he made it possible to grab the pussy. And I seen him grab it, and I was like, man, you a goat, greatest of all times. And he was like, thank you.
Grabbing the pussy. Yes, goat versus fish has heard some say that a pussy does smell like a fish. Is a pussy a fish?
Yeah, it smelled like it. You should see how he grabbed it. He grabbed it so fast, the smell went out of his hands, and it just smelled just like a goat. So I'm gopher for him.
But when the fence did come to take this fish from the sea, yes, was it not grabbing this fish by its very fish? It does not sound so pleasant to you.
Yeah, it grabbed some of it. He grabbed all of it and just palmed it. It was selfish. You only grabbed a little bit, and it hurt when you grab a little bit. You got to grab all the pussy.
All of the fish. You grab the whole fish.
The whole fish.
Brian Redban, goat or fish?
That's a fish. That's a shark right there.
Ah, it is a shark fish.
Mm-hmm.
Ah, yes, tell us of this one. You know, that one did not seem so kindly to goat versus fish. It did not seem to like goat versus fish.
That's a fish because he looked like he eat fish every day. He just looked fishy. You talk to him, you just say you ate a fish sandwich, and he don't never argue. So that's a fish. He got fish all in him. He gonna turn into a fish, and then he eat so much fish he became a shark, and now he eating the little fishes.
Do you think that shark would consume you as a goat?
He probably would consume me as a goat if I tripped in the water.
They are waiting for it to fall into the sea, and then they say, aha, it is fish, or they consume the goat. It is one versus or the other. Neither one sounds pleasant, yes?
They gonna consume me. That's why I said they be cock blocking. I be right there by the little water sometimes. I be talking to the little goat, Tatiana. She stay over at 100 and Forum Street, and they be flopping. I just be hearing the water. She be like, why you got your friends out here being all nosy? I was like, they trying to kill us. You the one to come down here.
Let me tell you something about goat versus fish, yes? Would you hear about goat versus fish?
Yes.
When Goat vs. Fish does go on to the killing of Tony, and Goat vs. Fish hopes to go again, yes?
Mm-hmm.
Some of them, yes, they look curiously at Goat vs. Fish, and the one called Brian Redban did say that Goat vs. Fish should leave this place, yes, and Goat vs. Fish does, yes?
Mm-hmm.
And they say to Goat vs. Fish, they say to stop to doing they call it a character of Goat vs. Fish. Of course, it is simply Goat vs. Fish. It is always Goat vs. Fish. It is forever Goat vs. Fish.
Mm-hmm.
They wish Goat vs. Fish to show them something that is not Goat vs. Fish. But let me tell you something, Goat. It will be Goat vs. Fish. They may wish to see something else. But whether they accept Goat vs. Fish or do not accept Goat vs. Fish, it will be Goat vs. Fish. It will be Goat vs. Fish, and they will learn. They will learn that when they speak to Goat vs. Fish, they are not speaking to another one. You may call it Killing Tony. You may call it Kill Tony. It is Goat vs. Fish. It is all Goat vs. Fish. You can make that versus your own. Are you doing the verses of Killing Tony? Or are you doing your own verses?
My own verses.
It is your own verses. Tell us of your own verses,
My
yes?
goat verses.
Yes, tell us of the goatly verses. Yes, not the verses of the Killing Tony. Not the verses that all the ones look to you and say, I know that one. That one was Killing Tony, was it not? What is your verses, Goat? What is your verses?
Get up there, and I just talk about stuff that I see out there on that field. And they laugh and they say, oh my God, it's so good. And I said, I'm so grateful to see this and make it funny. Then they say, congratulations on Kill Tony. And I said, no, it's just goat.
Congratulations on Kill Tony, but it is just goat. You are part of GoatVsFish, are you not? You are part of GoatVsFish, goat.
Yes.
We celebrate this goat. We celebrate this goat. That is part of GoatVsFish. Tony Hinchcliffe, goat or fish?
That's a fish.
Ah, that is another fish.
That's a fish.
There are so many fish there.
Yeah,
goat.
that's a fish.
Yes, that is the Tony of the Killing Tony, yes?
Mm-hmm.
Why do so many wish to kill this fish?
Because he's like the greatest fish under the water. And they trying to get him. And I'm going to be the goat who do it.
And it was written.
It was written.
And it was written by this goat.
Written.
That it would be the goat.
It was written.
This goat is coming for the one that is called Killing Tony. For the one that is called Tony Hinchcliffe. You are surrounded by many fish there. You are surrounded by many fish. You say that there is but one goat that is there on this, these ones that are so often with the killing of Tony. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
What do you say to the goat? To all goat. What do you say to the goat?
Goat, stay away from that water. Because once you fall in, they going to tickle you. And you going to drown. And then Brian Redband, the shark fish, going to come. And he going to start from the back and finish to the nose. So just keep on being goatful. Keep on being goats. If you're a goat and you work at McDonald's, it is not McDonald's. It is goat. You go to Starbucks, you don't ask for the Wi-Fi. Ask for the goat. It's goat, all caps, at all times. Stay away from the fishes.
What do you say to the fish?
Fish, y'all better stay as deep as you can in that water. Because next time I see y'all creep up to sea level, I'm going to step on you. And if I slip in, I'm going to have somebody grab me from the back. And Brian, you shark, you better stay out there. Because if I get on one of them bridges, I'm going to jump and I'm going to try to break your back. It's goat for life. It ain't no pond. It's goat. That's my piss out swimming in.
What do you say to the fence sitter?
Fence sitters, keep on fishing. Make me a fish sandwich too. I want a little bit of hot sauce, tartar sauce, and the mayonnaise. I want to try one on. Rest in peace, DJ. But I'm probably going to eat your cousin in a week.
What do you say to goat versus fish?
Goat versus fish. Thank you for allowing me to fail so many times and pick who I was and not be afraid to pick it. Because at first, I was hidden. I didn't know what I was. I was a fish. I was a boy. I was a goat. I was lost. I was nothing. And now, I'm goatful to say, I'm a goat.
The goat, the goat, the goat do triumph. The goat do triumph over the fish. The goat, the goat, the goat do triumph. The goat do triumph over the fish. And this goat, I see many triumphs for this goat. Oh, and thank you, yes. Thank you for thanking GoatVsFish. Always thank GoatVsFish. This is a very polite goat. This is a very polite goat. Are you goat or fish?
Goat.
It is a goat. It is a goat. Goat, would you like to see GoatVsFish on the killing of Tony again? Would you like to see it? Yes?
Heck yeah, I got to see it to give me inspiration. Because that's different and I love it.
One on the YouTube has posted a moving visage that says, GoatVsFish is the most bizarre Kill Tony set ever.
No, GoatVsFish is the most realist. Because it went up there as GoatVsFish on the Kill Tony. And that day, it was never Kill Tony. It was Goat versus Fish.
Yes!
Because in the beginning, it was written. And I witnessed it. And they say bizarre because they don't have the guts to go up there and do it. So, I cherish it. And I praise it. GoatVsFish is the greatest.
And GoatVsFish cherishes you. GoatVsFish cherishes you as well.
Yes. The most bizarre, don't do it. But the best is Goat versus Fish. That's his show.
It is. It is all goat versus fish. You have heard it from this goat. You have heard it from this Malcolm Hatchett Goat. Now, Goat, if the ones wish to communicate with you, yes, if the ones wish to find this one, to follow this one, yes, even now many are following this goat, how would they follow this goat, whether you are goat or fish or fence sitter, yes?
You can find this goat on Instagram at MalcolmH12. Once you add me, make sure you DM a goat emoji, and I might follow back. And Twitter, Malcolm Hatchett. Make sure you drop a goat in the mentions. Facebook, Malcolm Hatchett. Goat for life.
Should the ones follow goat versus fish? Should the ones follow goat versus fish? Of course they should follow this goat. Should they follow goat versus fish?
Yes, because in the beginning, it was written, you don't want to miss greatness. So follow now. Follow Goat versus Fish. Amazing. Changed my life. Made me realize that I was a goat and I'm goatful for it. So follow Goat versus Fish.
You see, they celebrate the goat. They are celebrating the goat, yes?
Yes.
Would you come again to the Goat vs. Fish podcast to versus a fish?
Yes. Anytime. Because I'm goatful to be a goat. It was written.
It was written. Thank you for being a part of Goat vs. Fish.
Thank you for helping me find out that I was a goat in this cold world of fishes.
It is a goat, and we celebrate this goat. The verses has come. Goat, fish, and fence sitter alike to sing. To sing. To sing in celebration of Goat versus Fish. And to celebrate with Goat versus Fish is this goat that they do call Malcolm Hatchett. Let us hear the celebration that you have brought to Goat versus Fish.
Go, go, go. Don't like those fishes, but it's Goat versus Fishes. Forget those fence sitters, 'cause they want to destroy the fishes. And I'd rather destroy the fishes, 'cause I'm a goat, and it's Goat versus Fishes. I don't like fishes, I can't stand fishes, but it's Goat versus Fishes. GoatVsFish, Goat versus Fishes.
Thank you for joining Goat versus Fish. These are the verses of Goat versus Fish. Subscribe, rate, and review the Goat vs. Fish podcast on the YouTube and the iTunes. Follow Goat vs. Fish on all social media, the Instagram, the Book of Faces, the Twitterver, and even the Twitch at GoatVsFish. The theme celebration for this verses was an offering by McHenry on SoundCloud, a fish. And if you, one who listens, has a celebration of Goat vs. Fish, in song or poem or any other celebration, do send it. Do send it to Goat vs. Fish. That's GoatVsFish@gmail.com. Join the Goat vs. Fish discussion group on the Book of Faces to discuss Goat vs. Fish with other goat and fish. And when you are out in the land and the sea, look about you. Look about you. Find one who is lost. Find one who does not know the way. Find one who even seems to be triumphing so very much in the verses, triumphing and triumphing and triumphing. But stop. And do ask it. Are you goat or are you fish? Are you goat or fish? Are you goat or fish? Thank you for joining Goat vs. Fish. I am Goat vs. Fish, the Goat Fish. Now, Goat, at the end of the Goat versus Fish podcast, yes, we do say, and it was written, and it was written, yes? Would you say this with Goat versus Fish? Together we say it, yes?
Yes.
Yes, and then we shall say, yes, it begins and, yes? And it was written, yes? And it was written, and it was written. Yes, let us practice this verses, yes? It goes as this. Goat versus Fish will say, Goat versus Fish. And it was written, and it was written. Yes, we say it in that way.
Times.
Let us practice. It is only two. It is only two. Yes, one for the goat, one for the fish. Yes, Goat versus Fish. And it was written, and it was written. Yes, say it with your full goat. Say it with your full goat. Yes, and it was written. Yes,
And it was written.
And it was written, and it was written.
One more time.
And it was written, and it was written. Is that pleasant to you, Goat?
One more time. One more time.
Yes, always. Yes, we can always say it was written. Many times it was written. Many times it was written by this Hatchetty goat. And it was written, and it was written. Yes, now you are feeling it. Now you are feeling it, Goat. Yes, once more for the verses. Yes. And it was written, and it was written.
One more.
Yes.
And it was written, and it was written.
That is Goat versus Fish. That is Goat versus Fish.